Hello? Okay. Now I can hear myself. All right. All right, let's get going. Okay, U.S. markets, very strong session yesterday. Basically, yeah, I mean, I think the big play was around obviously the Crimea situation and the numbers that came out. Bottom line was, or sorry, not the numbers. The result was essentially in line with what the market was thinking. There were no real surprises in terms of shots fired or anything like that. So you got your reversal yesterday. I think some people came into the weekend long gold, hence you see the gold price fall over $20 from yesterday's levels. They came in short equities, and you can see the unwind of that happening after there was no real spike in violence or anything like that out of the region. So yesterday's numbers, between the manufacturing, I think there's industrial production numbers, industrial production being better, and manufacturing being better, and Empire manufacturing numbers a little bit worse, industrial production a little bit better. I think markets weren't really paying that much attention to it, to be quite honest. We're going to continue to see what's going to happen going forward with the sanctions and things like that. But bottom line is, markets happy to shake it off and stop paying too much attention to it, in light of no violence. All right, in the Asian session this morning, we had some nice follow through. Nikkei up almost 1.5%. Every market up. Shanghai even managed to reverse to the positive at the end of the session. We're basically seeing just a little bit of a risk on play, like we said, on the back of the Crimea unwind. And today we had the Australian Reserve Bank, which stated that the recent data supports a view that interest rates could remain lower for the foreseeable future. So that's also where we get a little bit of a bounce up out of Australia. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow we've got the Fed. So I think we'll kind of be a little bit on hold until we get some information out of them. But yeah, otherwise, kind of be focusing on Russian-Ukrainian tensions until that point. All right, this morning we have we got Rimgra out this morning with later this afternoon. Sorry, later this afternoon. They came out with a trading statement before 7 Rand 58, which is better than expected in the guidance. I think we're going to expect somewhere up in that region. A lot of people are expecting even a beat to that number. Keep an eye out for that. It's only going to come through, I believe, at the close today. Keep in mind that there is once-off debt restructuring for Mediclinic that add 1 Rand 48 to that number, so just keep that in mind. And then the States today, we've got Oracle, which is all we've got. On market data out today, we've got non-farm payrolls here locally. We've got the ZEW survey, which has been one that we've been able to pay attention to. It's been moving markets for quite a while now. In the Eurozone, we've got the trade balance. Later in the States, we've got CPI, we've got housing starts, we've got building permits. We've got net long-term TIC flows and total net TIC flows as well. All right, let's jump into the maps. All the ones that we're going to have a look at here are similar to the ones that we looked at in the previous day, in the previous day's morning call. First one we're going to have a look at is BGA, which we did look at yesterday. We talked about how it popped up above the closing level, but we actually got above the whole. I think crossing above 140 to me was significant, simply because 140 was the high of this whole little pattern in this move. So breaking above that, breaking above the 200-day moving average, I think to me is important, and I think we will definitely come up here and look like we're going to fill the gap in the next couple sessions up around 145 Rand. So same sort of thing. I think this thing's guys are very underweight to this. All the other banks are probably long of out besides this one. So probably a straight shot here to 145 in the next couple sessions. Bidvest. Bidvest, actually back out a little bit here, you get more of a clear picture. You can see what may be a little bit harder to see is just that there's no green candles anywhere above what I'm showing you there, and you can see if we do zoom forward that is a new all-time closing high for Bidvest, definitely breaking out. In terms of on a closing basis, I'd like to see us get above 274 for us to really say that we've fully broken out. Nonetheless, I mean, we've definitely made a new all-time closing high, and I think this thing can probably have wheels from here, to be honest. All right, next one we'll look at is Amplats. Amplats broke out of this beautiful little narrowing triangle or little wedge pattern, whatever you want to call it. This thing really has been consolidating for the better part of 2 months, and yesterday we finally absolutely ripped higher. Not only did we run through that wedge, but I mean when you're looking on a closing basis, there was only one close above this, and that was back in early February. So 460 was actually a big level of resistance. I mean, we just totally ripped through it. I wouldn't be surprised to see us make a quick move up to the 500 Rand level pretty soon. And I think guys, I definitely seem to kind of be on the short side of this thing. It's not been able to really pull back at all. On the back of that, we also have Impalas, which has been making an even longer consolidation into a bit of a wedge pattern. And you can see here, it's been going on forever, almost 3 or 4 months that we've been kind of consolidating here. We're looking at 121 as the level that we need to get above for us to break out to the upside. Yesterday, obviously, had a very strong session. Kind of ran in line with Amplats. We haven't been able to see a second day play out of this thing in forever. This one day here where we had this major green bar, kind of felt like that was a reversal. It was definitely a key reversal at the time, and then the next day we just totally failed. We hadn't been able to string 2 really strong days together in quite some time. So if we can get above 121 here, I think this thing really could finally start to gather some momentum and really push to the upside. So watch that one closely. That level at 121 is going to be big. All right, next one we're going to talk about, we did show yesterday. That's Billiton's. We'll actually back it up a little bit here so that you can see a little bit more clearly and just look at trend support on Billiton's, which we held beautifully yesterday. Opened up slightly lower, down around that level, around 318.50, 319. And then we had a great reversal up off those levels, and it's really starting to look a bit like a flag now. And if you have a look here, and then we've really kind of broken above that flag that we've made here. So keep that in mind. I mean, I think Billiton's really could have a couple more days of nice rally here, especially if you can see the copper price, get a little bit more of a bounce. If you can see maybe some a few days without any real significantly bearish news out of China, or something along those lines. So keep an eye on Billiton's. I think these things really could have a nice bounce. I mean, this thing moved. We pulled back from 365 all the way down to south of 320, probably about 13% in a few weeks. So it's had a big move to the downside. I think we'll get at least a day cap bounce here. And then the last one I'm going to show is CFR, which we also did show yesterday. We'll look at it on a year chart. But CFR, obviously, we slightly dropped that level, but we still were holding the 200-day and basically holding it at 100. We made a reversal there, got nicely back above this level. I think we continued on with a little bit of momentum in yesterday's close in Switzerland, and I would expect to see this thing back up, trading at least back up toward 105 over the next few sessions, so long as the market permits. And that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot.